and welcome to today's lesson, which is on frequency polygons. Now, a lot of people get frequency polygons wrong, but they're not tricky. People think that they're these really difficult things, but actually, I always think about it as it's just an extension of bar charts. Now, the difference between this and a bar chart is that the data is actually continuous. So you notice we're looking at time now. So the problem with time is that it's, as I said, it's continuous, so it's actually measured, so it's not discrete and it's not counted, which means that it can be a range of things. So I've just put up a past paper question here because I think that we should be able to do it as long as we know what we're doing. Now I'm going to suggest that when you have a go at this and get this in your notes, you make sure you're using a pencil and a ruler, okay? As always, I'm going to be using a pen, but that's because I can rub it out, okay? So let's have a look at this first one here. So it says here, the table gives you information about the times that 100 people took to travel to work. And we've got our frequency chart here. Draw a frequency polygon for the information in the table. Now I'll make this big so you can see it, because I want you to have a go at drawing this table at the bottom. So if you've got square paper, I'm going to suggest that you do it on that. I'm going to do it on this line paper to show you that it can be done on line paper. So the things we need to think about with this frequency polygon are, let's do our axes first of all. So we're going up to 30 on here. So I need to go 6 up. Now I'm going to give myself a little bit of space here. Now try and make sure as much as possible that these are straight. So I'm going to go up here by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there, like so. Now this bottom one's a little bit tricky because it needs to go all the way to 60. So I am going to use 2 centimeters for mine. So how many are there? If there's 60 and they're going up by 5s, so it's going to be 12 I need to go across. So 24, which just about fits on here. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So it's important, again, similar to bar charts, that you're evenly spaced, that everything is uniform. So if you're going up by 1 on the side, that needs to go up by this amount. If you're going across by a particular amount, it needs to go across by the same amount. So this is going to be 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. And this here is the frequency. We need to label that as frequency, okay? Now here we're going across 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and this is the time going across here. So time is going across there like so. Now, a frequency polygon, if you think about what a polygon is, it's a shape where all the sides are straight, okay? So with this, it's a graph where the lines are straight as well. Now, the big common mistake with this is that people mess up where they put the actual point. So some people draw bars, which is wrong. Some people will do it from the upper bound. The place that you need to do it, and the thing that's really important, is that we plot using the midpoint. You plot using the midpoint of the data. Now that is the key ingredient here. If you do that and you know that, this becomes so straightforward, okay? So let's have a look at our first one. Our first one is between 0 and 10. So 0 and 10, the midpoint of that is 5, okay? So I'm going to go 5, 10. So look here, my midpoint here is between 0 and 10 for the time for the first one. I'll just show you on here. So here, it's between 0 and 10. So my midpoint of that is 5, and I'm going up, my frequency is 10. So 5, 10 is my first one. The next one, what's the midpoint between 10 and 20? Well, the midpoint between 10 and 20 is 15, and that one I'm going up by 26. So 15, 26, which is going to be there like so. Next one is going to be 20 and 30 is 25, and then up to 23. So 25 and up to 23, which is going to be, I'm going to use my ruler for this just to make sure it's definitely there. 25 up to 23, which is there. Okay, like so. 30 and 40 is 35, and I'm going up to 19 in this case, which is there. 40 and 50 is 45, and in this case I'm going up to 14, which is there. And 50 and 60 is 55, and there I need to go up to 8, which is going to be here like so. So I've got my points plotted, okay? Do practice this. Do make sure you're having a go. Remember, the only way to learn and remember maths is to do it. So then I connect it up like that. So from my midpoint there, up, and then making sure that these are super straight, like so. Next one, between these ones. This one here, like there. Brilliant. And the last one, there, like so. Now, a lot of people with these are tempted to connect that bottom there, okay, because they think about it as a shape, okay, but with this, make sure you do not connect it. It's a line that continues. If you continue the time, you'd want to continue the line, so we do not connect that bottom, okay. So that there is 2 marks. Nice and straightforward, super. So part B says write down the modal class of this, and again, it's all about pushing you and stretching you. Do you understand what this data means? So modal class, let's think about what the word modal means. Now you might have seen this from the averages. So hey diddle diddle, the median's in the middle. You add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one which is the most. The modal mode is the most. So which one here is the most? Well, the most is this one here, which is between 10 and 20 minutes, okay? So my mode for this, part B, is between 10 and 20. So 10 is less than T, is less than or equal to 20. Now you do need to make sure you write it out like this. You do not write the midpoint. Notice that it's asking for the modal class. Now the modal class is that range between 10 and 20, okay? And that's that second part done. Brilliant. So let's just check those answers. Brilliant, there's our frequency polygon, and between 10 and 20 is T. Brilliant. Okay, so let's have a look at the next question then. So again, this is a past paper question. What I'm going to suggest is pause now and have a little go at this one yourself, okay? Pause now and have a go at that one. Okay, so let's go through it together then. So, with this one here, the table shows some information about the ages of teachers. Draw a frequency polygon, so we know how to do that now, for the information in the table. So the first thing I need to do is, let's have a look at the table. Again, it's going up by 6, and I'm going across from 20 to 70 in this case. So that's 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. So I need to go across by 10. Okay, so up by 6 first of all, making sure it's as straight as possible. Let's do that. So here we've got this, and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there, like so. Across by 10. So can I get my inches across? No, I can't. So I'm going to have to use the centimetres. Maybe let's use 2 centimetres for every one. So, all the way across, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the even numbers, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there, like so. Brilliant. So let's draw this in now. So we're going from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30, and that's my frequency there, like so. Okay, and this one here, notice this one here doesn't start at 0. This one here starts at 20. Now, the reason it starts at 20 is because these ages start at 20. So it's going from 20 up to the age of 70. So it's 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65 and 70. Notice it all fits perfectly because I planned it out. And these are the ages. Okay, so remember the key part of this is we're plotting from the midpoint. Okay, that's the most important part there. I'm plotting from the midpoint. Okay, so the first one, between 20 and 30, I'm all over the place. Between 20 and 30 is 6. So between 20 and 30 is 25. So up 6, so 25, 6, which is there. The next one between 30 and 40 is 16. So between 30 and 40 is 35, and then up to 16, which is there, like so. I'm going to start using my ruler. Make sure it's straight up. Oh, look at that. Miles off. This is why you need to use your ruler. Okay, because I would have been country miles off there. Brilliant. So 40 and 50 is 45, which is 14. So 45 and 14, so straight up, which is going to be there, like so. Between 50 and 60 is 22. So between 50 and 60 is 55, and that is 22. So 21, 22, which is about there. Brilliant. And the last one between 60 and 70 is 2. So between 60 and 70, the midpoint of that is 2, which is going to be there, like so. Super. And then we're going to connect all of this up with the straight lines. Remember, what we're not doing is connecting that last line at the bottom, okay? So we're not forming a shape, we're keeping it as a line going up and down. And they will ask you in the exam to draw a frequency polygon, okay? I think in science they call this a line graph, which I find very confusing, okay? In maths we call it a frequency polygon, and they will ask for that, to draw a frequency polygon. So the last one says choose the modal class. Well, we know what the mode is of this data. So the mode, hey diddle diddle, the median's in the middle. You add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one which is the most. So the mode is the most common, and the most common class in this case, class interval, is between 50 and 60. So 50 is less than A, is less than or equal to 60. So that means it's between 50 and 60 there for part B. So let's just check that answer. 50 and 60, yep, super, brilliant. Okay, so one more to have a go at. So I think we should be really strong with this now. The reason I've picked this one is because the time's a little bit different. So maybe last one to have a little go at before we go look at something else. So pause now and have a little go at that one yourself. Okay, so let's have a go at it together. So the reason I picked this one is because the axes are a little bit trickier, aren't they? They're a little bit nastier. So I need to go up to 24. Now I'm going to go, because it's 24, I'm going to go up in 4s. And 4 goes into 24 6 times, so I need to go up 6 again. Okay, so making sure my line is straight there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there, like so. And I'm going to go up in 4s. I need to go across from 8 to 30. So 8, they've gone up in 2s, so I'm going to stick with that. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, and 30. So I need to go across by 11, don't I? So 11 across, so I'm going to do across in 2s again. So going from there, 22, going across in 2s, and I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, making sure that things are evenly spaced, okay? So on the side, I'm going up in 4s. So 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and that there is my frequency. And on the bottom, I'm going across starting from 8. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. The news, thank you. 28 and 30, okay? So, we've got our temperature at the bottom there. Temperature at the bottom. So, we want our midpoint and we want our frequency. So the midpoint of this one, so the midpoint of between 8 and 12. Now, if you're not sure, there is a way to do it. You can add them together and divide by 2. So 8 plus 12 divided by 2 is 10. Or you can kind of see it on the graph, can't you? What's the middle between 8 and 12? So 8 and 12 is 10. So 10, 6, making sure I'm using my ruler, okay? 10, 6, which is there, like so. And then, what's between 12 and 16? Well, between 12 and 16 is 14. So 14, 14, 8 it is, which is there, okay? The next one between 16 and 20 is 18, 18, 13. 18, 13, this is a trickier one, which is there. So 20 and 24 is 22, to 22, 21. Lots to think about here, 22, 21, which is there. And the last one is between 24 and 28, which is 26 and 2, which is halfway between. Connect all these up, making sure we're not connecting the first and last. And the last one, brilliant there, like so. And that's that question done. So when was that? That was Edexcel in 2013, that one. Okay, so let's just check that. Super duper, brilliant. Okay, so I popped these two on here. Now the reason I popped these two on is because you do need to be able to interpret these graphs as well. And this is a little bit trickier. So the first question here, I'll make it big so you can see it, is find how many people live between 3 and 5 kilometers away from their place of work. Now the thing that you need to remember is that the points represent the frequency, okay? The points represent the frequency. So where it's kind of changing direction represents the frequency. So for this one here, it's going to be between 0 and 1, and the frequency is 2. Between 1 and 2, the frequency is 12, okay? That's important. So if I want it between 3 and 5 here, like so, I need the 2 points which are between 3 and 5, okay? So the first point between 3 and 5 is between 3 and 4, which is this one here, which is 14. So between 3 and 4, our point is 14. And then between 4 and 5, there is another point which is 13. So between 4 and 5, we've got a point which is 13. And it's all about those points. What is the point between it, okay? So these are the two that I've got. 3 and 4, so between 3 and 4, our point, the bit where it's changing, remember that's our frequency. So between 3 and 4 was 14, between 4 and 5 is 13. So we want all of them between 3 and 5, so we need to add these together. So it's going to be 14 plus 13, so 14 plus 13, which is equal to 27. So that's a little bit trickier because you've just got to know that you're using those points. It's all right when you're drawing it, but when you're working backwards, it can be tricky. So pause now and have a little go at that one on the right-hand side. Okay, so let's have a go at this one together. I'm going to keep this big just so you can see. So we want it between, anyone who's more than 130 centimetres. So we want every single point that's over 130 centimetres. Okay? So our first point here is between 130 and 140, which is 12. So my first point is 12 there. My next point, where it's changing direction, is this one here between 140 and 150, which is 10. So 12 plus 10. The last one here is between 150 and 160, which is this point here, which is 4. So 12 plus 10 plus 4, which is going to be equal to, let's go back so you can see, 12 plus 10 plus 4, 12 plus 10 plus 4, which is equal to 26. Brilliant. So let's just check those answers. Not too tricky, but 27, 26, brilliant. Okay, so let's have a go at some of these ourselves then. So I'll make this big. Pause now and have a little go at this worksheet. There's 2 worksheets here. Pause now and have a go at that first one. Okay, so have a go at that next one there. Pause now and move on to the next one. Okay, so mark all your answers in green. They're all on there. Mark your answers in green. So thank you for watching this video on frequency polygons. Do make sure you're practicing these frequency polygons because remember, the only way to learn maths is to do it, and have a lovely day.